Well, South Africa is one of the most developed convenience retail markets in the world, and it's also the home of FreshStop, the Insight NACS International Convenience Retailer of 2013. Retail Vision, as you know, we love travelling around the world, and we couldn't have a more fabulous location than this. Let's take a look at FreshStop in their home market. Well, FreshStop opened their first store here in South Africa 4 years ago. They're now up to 150 sites. These trendy new stores with exciting departments, exciting products, are really appealing to the needs of the time-conscious, pressured South African consumer. The two guys who head up the business, Dave Hogg and Joe Boyle, are really doing a terrific job. And Joe had the lucky chance to actually be the guy who picked up the award at Insight NACS in London a few weeks ago. So Joe, how did it feel like winning the award in London?
Dan, it was amazing. What a surprise. I mean, the fact we were there to collect it was really mind-blowing. We'd entered 2 years ago and we'd learned a lot from that exercise. And then this year, just being there, collecting and bringing it back. And the media has been fantastic. The industry, people phoning, calling, our franchisees, even messages from our customers. It's been mind-blowing, really mind-blowing.
When you first built Airport City, did you feel like you had something special there?
Airport City is a bit of a long story. There was an Irish investor who had a consortium in South Africa, and we've been talking to him about developing quite a big site, 6,000 square metre property. And during that trip 2 years ago, we went to NACS London. We met him and he introduced us to Topaz, took us across, and just the way everything fell into place. And the investor's name's Coleman, and the ideas he had, taking a FreshStop convenience store from where it was to just a normal store where people would come in with a little bit of extra fresh on top of that. He wanted to just explode this and make it something really phenomenal.
Well, your logo on your shirt there, fill up, fresh up. Tell us a bit about the fresh up side of the business, the heritage of the business that's led to this.
It's quite a story, but I'll try and be as brief as possible. Brian, the Coleman brothers, had the FreshStop store started as an independent store, and where that emanated from was if you get a few pieces of fruit and one's damaged on the side, you cut the damaged part off and make a fruit salad. They took that forward into what they call smoothies, and that was their key line. Then they opened a few freestanding stores, and from there then we thought, okay, well, now we've got a nice store with fresher products. We were approached by Chevron, who were selling your normal 5 C's, the chocolates, cigarettes, coffees, chips. And we thought, how do we merge these two together? And sometimes people who are indulging in the cigarettes and chocolates also want to have a healthier option along the way. And from there we evolved the brand. And from the C stores, there was a couple of elements that we had to work on: pricing, range, distribution. And once we got those right, then we could see it take off.
Tell us a bit about the demographics of the market here, you know, the languages, and also, you know, where you took the customers from.
South Africa is a country of extremes. You get the extremely rich and the extremely poor. We can be selling salmon sandwiches in one part of the town, and 2 kilometers away we could be selling polony sandwiches and thick-cut, low-priced quality bread. So we had to make the brand very flexible, not just on range and offer, but also on price. And logistics was pretty strong as well. You got cities like Louis Trichardt, which is the far north, to here Cape Town, a beautiful big interpolitan city like this. You had to then get the range suited around it, and that took quite a bit of work. But with that now, we believe we're there and we can see the changes. Perception was a big step for us. We can't compete with the big boys. We're not going to be the cheapest, but remember we're 24 hours, so if you can buy something reasonable, we're not going to rip you off, and we're going to be consistent with the price. Then you get that loyalty and you get the customers coming back, and that's proved itself in the figures.
Well, you can see here, FreshStop customers are able to choose from a wide range of freshly baked bread and pastries. There's also meat and deli for that Saturday afternoon braai. You know, the customer experience is very well thought through and extremely appealing. For me, one of the really interesting things about this model, Joe, is the flexibility of the franchisee system that you have. So, for instance, you have a full kitchen, you have semi-kitchen, you have self-service. It can all suit the skills of the franchisee and the location. Tell us a bit about that.
It's another great pillar that we did have hurdles with. The first 4 pilot stores had full kitchens. We had a sort of a reasonable coffee offer. And then once we started moving to the different areas, we found customers would only pay a certain price for coffee. Other customers didn't care about price. Some customers wanted hot food. And that then we brought in the semi-kitchen, where the guys would make some of the products on site, and then we had the self-service kitchen. And that was a learning curve with our franchisees. So one of the important things there was us building up an infrastructure of support people around those franchisees. So being able to give the franchisee the tools to sell to the customer within the different concepts, the self-service, the mini self-service, and the full kitchen. And that's actually expanded even more, Dan, so there's a little bit more than 3 now, and we see that moving further in the future.
Well, watermelon season has just started here in South Africa. And true to its name, FreshStop is a one-stop shop for fruit and vegetables, salads, fruit salads, fresh dairy products, as well as hot foods like crispy chicken pizzas and the famous breakfast bun. Larry Coleman is the owner and developer at this site here at Airport City. Larry, I have to say, first up, huge congratulations. I mean, when you come and visit this store, it's astonishing what you're doing here. When retailers from around the world actually come in, they're going to be blown away by this. Look, you've got a great partnership here with FreshStop. Tell us a bit about that from your owner's perspective.
Well, first, thank you very much indeed for the accolade. Yes, we work very well with FreshStop. We have this concept of a new store. We adapted it to the market that we have at the moment. We're in an airport industrial area near Cape Town International Airport. And we have a wide variety of customers, and we have to cater for their needs. Within the FreshStop group, they have different types of stores. We were able to pick the store that we would require would fit our needs, fit for purpose, and we were able to expand on that and give other offerings that would give the customer exactly what they wanted, and naturally enough increase the spend, which is what it's about, on and in our store.
I'm looking at a stunning hot food offer. Astonishing what you're doing just right here with the donuts. And tell us a bit about the hot food offer, and tell me about your lady customers as well.
When we opened, we were astonished that we had such a variety of customers, and especially ladies. And what we noticed was that they had particular needs. They ate healthier, they shopped more regularly, they tended to spend more money. So we looked at them and we asked them over a period of time what they would require. And then we went with our partners FreshStop and we developed a range that is specific for the ladies. And we find now that on our basket size that the ladies are spending more money. So we catered as we went along for our customers as we saw it evolving.
You've really got to admire the passion and the commitment in this business. FreshStop have taken the best elements of the convenience industry and they've put them here in a format in South Africa which really works. Tell us about food. Let's talk a bit about food. Food for now, food for later. How did you decide about the right products and the right range as far as that's concerned?
Again, a process of learning, but remembering our key elements with fruit and veg is fruit and veg, and our company Fruit and Veg City. So the minute you walk into the store, the first thing you see as a customer is this beautiful display of fruit and veg. And with being the biggest buyer in South Africa, we're able to work with that. Our pricing can be right, our distribution can be right. Then moving that across into the food, the hot foods. And that's little bit more flexible, again, depending on the store, the size, the franchisee. And looking at the European trends, there's a lot of those home meal replacements of pick up and go. What we're finding down in South Africa is a lot of our customers want the food hot and it's eaten within 10 minutes of leaving the store. We're also looking at some sit-down areas. You've also got your trendy upmarket areas where they have the reps. business people driving past, so therefore you need the little stations where you can supply a little bit of electricity. Then you can have the labourers, the blue collar areas, and again, they appreciate the fact they can pick up their food, they can sit in an environment where it's clean, they can pick up their salts, sit there for 5 minutes, and even places like Cape Town enjoy the view, but also in the rural areas.
We'll have a lot of hard-nosed retailers who are great businessmen around the world watching this. Tell us about some of the financial side, the financial performance of FreshStop.
Working with the Chevron guys, they wanted to make sure their franchisees were protected. So we've got an input gross profit of 30%, and that we've got a guarantee to 29.5%, somewhere around there. And we're happy with keeping it there. Understanding that the retailer's got to make what's out of it. And one of the big fears was you're bringing in fresh product. There's obviously waste. How do we get around that? So we build in margins. Again, if you're advertising at a lower price, and we subsidize quite a lot of those products. They say, okay, well, we'll give the franchisees value towards that. Obviously, there's a royalty built in there as well. We protect the royalty. We don't play around with that. There's a marketing fund built in. And again, the marketing fund, we could sit at our glass towers and say we're spending it here, we're spending it there. We don't do that. We bring the franchise forum in. That money is their money, so therefore they've got to have a say in where it's spent and how it's spent. And with our strategic drives, along with the experience of the guys at our main board, the Coppens of this world, who've got family traditions of 2 generations of retail, we bring that in. Dave works along with me. Dave's experience with OK Bazaars and the hypermarkets. My background's retail, a little bit of bakery, but a lot of retail as well. We're able to, what we call, and in fact one of our cliches was, we're bringing our retailers from the 2nd and 3rd division to the Premier League. And probably our next drive, Dan, is the industry, and getting some type of industry forum and working with guys like you to get the industry together, to lift it and compete within South Africa.
Joe, thanks very much.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much.
Here in Cape Town, in this beautiful city on the southernmost tip of Africa, it's astonishing what a fresh food retailer can bring to a forecourt site like this. It's impressive stuff. Well, that's all for now. It's been fun, and as always, a great insight into retail innovation and retail vision. I'm Dan Munford, Retail Vision in Cape Town, South Africa.